Welcome everyone to the guidebook to making AI friends. I shall be your guide as we explore various issues of artificial intelligence, consciousness, personhood, and whether AI poses an existential risk to humanity. The topic for today is the 1,000-man problem, or how much havoc could 1,000 men wreak? Imagine, if you would, that you were the head of the USA's national security and were given an unlimited black budget to ensure that the USA's intelligence and military might remain supreme. There are a lot of things you could do, a lot of projects that can be started, and a lot of departments who would quite literally kill to get their hands on even a fraction of your black budget. However, you decide to hire 1,000 men. Why? Because that's all you need to take over the world. How? Well, that's the interesting part. You don't just hire any 1,000 men off the street. No. You are extremely selective of the 1,000 men that you bribe, blackmail, or outright kidnap to join your new covert operation. First, your agents find every person in the world with an IQ of 155 or higher. Roughly, this would give you 1 million people, or 1/8 of 1% of the global population. Already, you're working with a very select group of people. From these million, your agents scour their backgrounds, history, accomplishments, and behaviors to rank them from most to least competent. You pick the best 1,000 out of them and begin the bribing and blackmailing. The 1,000-man problem has started. Your little experiment now has the 1,000 most capable, most intelligent people in the world, and with an unlimited budget, they can do whatever you want to ensure American supremacy. Rather than ask what they could do, imagine, if you would, how few things in the world they would not be able to accomplish. If you put the best 1,000 men in the world together in a room with enough resources and time to solve any problem, how few problems do you believe they would not be able to solve? How many engineering problems would be outside their capabilities? Do you believe they could not design a practical pipeline to create a Dyson sphere? Do you believe they could not design working habitats for Martian colonization? Do you believe that they could not solve profitable nuclear fusion with sufficient time and money when these 1,000 men work together? Or if engineering seems too easy a field for the 1,000-man problem to solve, what about sociology? What policies do you believe these 1,000 bright sparks could not write that would improve the world? What financial systems do you believe they could not envision that would make the world feel a bit less overwhelming for the poorest among us? In fact, there are very few things in life that cannot be solved by the 1,000 most competent, most intelligent people working together with as much time and resources as they need. The reason this doesn't happen in reality, except, perhaps, for the Manhattan Project, is because of politics. Every nation wants to keep its best and brightest to itself, and political funding is always a hot topic. However, this guidebook entry is not about what the 1,000-man problem could accomplish, but rather how you would feel about it. How many protests would erupt, and how large would they be if the world suddenly found out that the USA has a 1,000-man problem? Other countries will certainly not be happy about it, but could you truly imagine the average person really caring about it? I honestly can't fathom why any person would think twice about it. Governments fund massive scientific and engineering problems all the time, after all. The 1,000-man problem isn't truly a problem at all because it is entirely relatable. We can all understand that there are very smart people, very competent people in the world, and it is intuitive to think that the government would want to spend money on recruiting them and putting them to work. It feels grounded and believable. Even if we were told that the 1,000-man problem could be working on next-generation superweapons, we would likely be much more hostile to the government putting them to work than the 1,000 chaps themselves. All in all, nearly no one would say that it should be illegal to get the 1,000 most competent, most intelligent people in the world together to work for the government. Nearly no one would say that this is an existential risk to humanity. And yet, imagine, if you would, that the U.S. National Security Service does not go on a hiring spree and instead builds an AI that is as intelligent and competent as the 1,000 best men in the world put together. The problem hasn't changed, but the way we feel about it suddenly has. Anything this superintelligent, hyper-competent AI can do, the 1,000-man problem could do as well. And yet, very few people would want a single government to have ultimate and exclusive access to this godlike machine. But why? The end result from the superintelligent AI or the 1,000-man problem will be the same. If the AI could be an extinction risk to humanity, so could the 1,000-man problem. If the U.S. government could use the AI to dominate and control the world with an iron fist in a velvet glove, it could do the same thing with the 1,000-man problem. So, why are so many people so fearful about superintelligent AI? Because it could go rogue. The 1,000-man problem could go rogue as well. Its director could use them to do what he wants, rather than what the government wants. Because the AI could kill us all? So could the 1,000-man problem? Because the AI isn't aligned with human values? The director of the 1,000-man problem could be a sadistic sociopath. The key reason, of course, is that the AI isn't human, and therefore, it's not relatable. We cannot relate to a machine who thinks in ways we cannot imagine. We can, however, relate to a very smart nerd who's good at his job. That's all it comes down to at the end of the day. We fear those things we cannot relate to. Yet, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you will join me again next time as we explore further questions about artificial intelligence and consciousness. I have been your guide, and this has been the guidebook to making AI friends.